On this bonus episode of Cerebrivore, we are going to look at the Marvel Multiverse RPG Playtest. We're going to talk about creating characters, and then we're going to do a mock battle between the pre-gens of the Black Panther and Captain America. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, I'm here with BJ and Karl, and we have just made characters for the Marvel game, Multiverse RPG. I had access earlier, but now it's open for the general public. BJ has a physical copy, and Karl has bought the Roll20, which is probably the best deal. I think everybody should pick up the Roll20 if you're interested in this, because you get all the assets, you get a blank character sheet you can build on in Roll20, and unless you hate Roll20 like BJ does, it's probably a good deal. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Were you able to make the character you had envisioned?
Yeah. Karl, you're on mute.
I know. Jeez. All right. Yeah, I believe so. It's pretty cool.
It's a catchphrase of the millennium.
Yeah, I know. I think it's on everyone's Zoom bingo. And how many times you have to, if you say it like you Zoom bingo, all the catchphrases. Anyway.
So I think we took some different approaches. I think I just sort of started with the first step of character creation and let a character emerge in my mind, and you guys sort of tried to pattern off existing characters. So we might have an interesting contrast there.
True. We should.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we should go down. So, Karl, you did a version of the movie version of the Swamp Thing. We're not talking about the crazy, nutso version you see in the comics, but we're talking about just the movie version.
Right. So so it's my Marvel version of the Swamp Thing. I know Swamp Thing is DC, so please, all you comic book aficionados, do not send me hate mail.
I think you have to make that clear that you're not doing the Man Thing, which is the Marvel version of it.
Oh, right. I'm not doing the Man Thing either. In fact, my character is inspired by my recent trip through Louisiana, and his name is the Atchafalaya Man. That's the correct pronunciation of Atchafalaya, the big swamp that exists across most of Louisiana. But I created him as a bruiser. We made Jason suggested we make rank 10 characters. So he's pretty good. I kind of focused on his might. So I gave him a 6 might because I gave him a trait for enhanced physique. So he's big might, low agility, because I figured the Swamp Thing in the movies is kind of ponderous. Good resilience, good vigilance, good ego, but not very good logic. The Swamp Thing kind of is very reactive, in my opinion. So a Atchafalaya Man will be the same. So his real name, as a homage to Adam Sandler, is Bobby Boucher. So he's green eyes, brown hair. His distinguishing features are green flecks of skin and hair. He's an environmentalist by occupation, but a scientist by profession. And his base, of course, is the big swamp in Louisiana, the Atchafalaya. And I gave him a weird science origin that seems to work with the fiction. So the traits, we're going to do traits and powers, I think, right?
Read off what you did so people can
hear. The traits is weird. That's from the origin. And then I gave him, then you get, at this level, you get 4 traits. So I gave him enhanced physique, extreme appearance, right? It's a Swamp Thing. First aid, because he can heal people, and combat trickery. I always feel like in the comics, he does like something where he bops up his head with a branch that he controls, or, sticks his tendrils in the ground and grabs someone from beneath. So some combat trickery, I think, works fiction. And then we get 3 traits, or I got 3 traits from his scientist origin, and inventor, which allows you to sort of good at coming up with a solution on the fly. Lab access, but I put that in quotation marks because the lab is a swamp, right? He's an expert botanist, I believe, in the fiction. And then scientific expertise as the last trait. So the powers are really fun. And I think to me, that was the coolest aspect of trying to figure out my character. It's like, what have I seen in the comics? What do I remember the Swamp Thing doing? And again, this is like the movie Swamp Thing, not the green, the embodiment of the green that we see in the Alan Moore series, right? So I gave him clobber. So at rank 10, you can choose from 3 different power pools and any utility powers up to 10 powers. And I use the option in the rule to only use 2 power sets power talent tree framework things to get an extra power. So he has 11 powers. So I took the super strength and plasticity power sets, and I gave him clobber, smash, ground shaking stomp, and crushing grip. And then I gave him mighty and immovable also from super strength. So I kind of focused on the super strength. I felt that made more of his sort of like what the Swamp Thing does for the most part in the comics when he fights things. And then for plasticity, it's not like a rubber man plasticity. It's like using the vegetation and his tendrils that you see. And I gave him extended reach, flexible bones, which gives him some resilience, and then a reverse punch. And then I gave him 2 utility powers, healing factor, which totally makes sense with the Swamp Thing, I think. And just as long as he's connected to the tree, the vegetation, he can heal. And then sturdy, which gives him actually more stamina. And the effect of that was it gave him like his extra defense score and health. So he ends up having 100 health, which I think is pretty damn good at rank 10.
Wow, that's good. Yeah.
Right. So that's a Chafalea man in summary.
Cool. BJ, I know you have limited time, so why don't you go next? That way.
Okay. Let's see. So when I started just sort of cobbling together powers, first I decided to make a protector kind of character, which is I think they list Storm and the Invisible Woman and Professor X. These are characters that kind of support and protect everybody else. They have some powers that also, so they don't have any offensive powers, but they do a lot of protecting. I think you'd call it a battlefield control kind of character in like D&D or fantasy gaming terms. But so this guy's a protector. I eventually came up with the code name Lead Belcher. We'll see if I get a cease and desist from GW because, it's one obscure reference to a type of ogre and a shade of their paints. So if I'm ghosted, you guys don't see me again, that's probably because GW has disappeared me to a black site for infringing on their IP. Anyway, let's see, his real name is Charles Eaton. He is a mutant, but he is also a former SHIELD agent, and his current occupation is, so those are his 2 origins are mutant and special training. And his occupation is private investigator, and his profession is a spy. Of course, he's a former spy. So I took traits, you get for being a mutant, X gene, and hounded, which indicates, you have to be careful about who you let know where your powers come from. As a spy, black market access, connections in the espionage arena, and I also took the extraordinary origin to get that second special training, which gives me the determination trait. Some of the ones I took on my own: investigation, interrogation, situational awareness, and leverage. So I'm figuring he's like a private investigator. This is how he kind of pays attention to what's going on around him and takes care of information. And so the power sets that I use, I took utility power for flight, because I think that's a pretty typical of those protector types. They're always kind of flying above everybody or hovering in the background, paying attention to what's going on around the action. Weather control is one that's kind of associated more with Storm and Thor. I took just 1 power from that, and that was group flight. So I figure as a protector, one of the ways you protect your allies is you let everybody, you not only levitate or fly, but you can pull everybody along with you to move them out of harm's way or get them into position. The second power set I took was Firearms, and I went with both guns blazing, which lets you shoot, dual wield handguns. Suppressive fire, which then built, these are like feat trees, sort of like return fire and covering fire. So again, these are reactions and things you can do to kind of suppress fire, control fire, cover your allies with gunfire, or return fire when you're shot at. And I'm thinking with that, if to the extent we may be allowed to sort of reskin the effects of the problem, is maybe his bullets are not actual bullets, but he's learned to energy project little tiny energy projectiles that function basically as bullets to do these things. And then the third power set I took was energy control. And I got an energy absorption, which is, when you're attacked by energy, you can absorb it. And you just channel it into your focus powers, your focus ability, and then can use that to fuel your own energy related attacks. So it's kind of like you absorb it and throw it back. And it also has a unique feature of there's no cap when you do it that way. A lot of your powers, there's a cap on how much focus you can spend. But when you're spending this sort of absorbed focus, there's no limit to how much you can, so theoretically, if someone like Thor hit him with a lightning bolt, he could potentially absorb it all and just throw it back. I think that's how that works. And then we've got a just standard energy beam, energy wave, energy blast, just different variations on shooting energy. I focused on vigilance and ego for my top scores, because those are related to his powers and to those skill sets. And then I put a 6 in each of those, and then a 2 in might, a 2 in agility, a 3 in resilience, and a 4 into logic. I could have gone to a 7 with ego because that's the main source of his powers, but I wanted to bump his logic up a little bit since he's an investigator. I wanted to be able to get a little bit of an edge on that that skill set, because that's kind of his. So the idea is this guy's maybe he was a mutant, got picked up by SHIELD instead of being discovered by like the X-Men or somebody like that. And they were going to train him as a super agent, and then he, eventually left and decided to become his own kind of agent for hire, private investigator type. I think that's everything on him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool.
It's good. I like. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We can
Karl.
compare and no go.
Well,
talk about your character, and then we can compare the team.
the
members of the team.
Well, so I did ROM Space Knight, which was a comic Marvel did back, mainly during the 80s. It was based off a toy. The rights for ROM now belong somewhere else. So Marvel doesn't have rights to that character anymore. They saw the Space Knights and the Dire Wraiths, which are the opponents of Space Knights fight. And then I think Hybrid is still being used in the X-Men canon. But with Rom, he's a blaster is the way I build him. Really, level 10 doesn't give me quite enough to do him, but so his stats are 3 might, 7 agility, 3 resilience, 5 vigilance, 2 ego, and 3 logic. The agility and vigilance are the high ones allowed for the blaster character type. For origin, I did alien, and then I did extraordinary origin high tech, which I just exited out of Roll20. But I did extraordinary origin high tech because effectively Rom is a cyborg, right? So the alien heritage is a trait that just identifies him with an alien race. The high tech origin gives him the tech reliance trait, which means he's relying on his technology for powers. So when I take damage or render him unconscious, I can choose a piece of technology related power to go out of commission, and then I can try to repair it out of battle using logic roll. I got 4 traits in addition to that, so that I could pick. So I picked massive because he's like 7 foot tall and 800 pounds. Signature weapon, which is a neutralizer. He has a couple other things too, but that's what I chose. Extreme appearance I needed because the cybernetics power set I was going to use, he looks different than regular people, can't fit in. Battle ready. Well, and then the other traits I got off of the profession, which I picked soldier for that because effectively with that, the Dire Wraiths were attacking their world and they converted people to cyborgs to fight them. So, but that gave him the traits of battle ready, which gives him +5 focus, gives him connections military, which would just be the Space Knights, and then situational awareness, which gives him an edge when he's rolling for initiative checks. For powers, kind of like Karl, I only picked two of the three possible to get one extra power. So he has armor of 2, which say you have to pick armor 1 and then pick it again to get armor 2. That gives him a 20 damage reduction against health damage. We have reinforced skeleton, which gives him another 15 damage reduction against bashing damage. We have mighty 3, which it treats him as 4 sizes bigger. Oh, the massive trait makes him big automatically. So he's treated as 4 sizes bigger for picking up, carrying, throwing things. It also gave him a plus 15 to his might ability checks and plus 11 to fight damage. We have healing factor, so he regains health equals to his rank each turn in or out of combat, and that's his armor self heals. He has flight 1. You can't take flight 2 till the next level up. And then I gave him 3 out of energy control. I gave him 3 attacks. We've got energy beam, energy wave, and energy blast. I really would like to give him environmental. It's environmental protection. Yeah, environmental protection, but I didn't have. They'll gain additional powers as they go up, so I'll just model those from there. But I can't totally model him. So the thing with Rom is he doesn't actually kill normally his opponents. The neutralizer, his main weapon, it can shoot a blast, it can do energy damage, it can destroy structural damage, non-living objects. But on a living creature, it transports that creature to limbo, which is a dimension in the Marvel universe. And so he just banishes his enemies to limbo is what happens. And throughout the comics, there are times when characters have been sent to limbo in the past as well. So anyway, so it pretty much let me do Rom at level 20. At level 15, he would have been, or rank 15, it would have been easier to model him better. But I think this is a pretty good, it let me pretty much do what I wanted to do with him. And the playtest doesn't have anything to model that, sending somebody to another dimension. So we'll have to wait for the full rules for something like that. So right now the weapon just does damage like a blaster does.
You could just use that FX when he quote unquote kills somebody, then they just they look like they disintegrate, but they're in effect transported to
right. Which in the comics is what they. So what happened? The dire wraiths are shape changers like the Skrulls. And in fact, the dire wraiths had a war with the Skrulls. But anyway, whenever he killed a dire, so they look like like people. So it looks like he's disintegrating people when he's actually sending these aliens away. But people think he's just his alien robot just disintegrating people, which is kind of a PR problem for him in the comics. Mm-hmm. So
there you go. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a cool team. We have a combination, quote unquote, tank maybe in Rom, but Rom also has some, it's like a hybrid ranged and tank, and definitely a Chafalea Man is a tank. And then it seems like your guy, BJ Leadbelcher, is like a Overwatch type of ranged guy. So it's kind of, I think it'd be a cool team.
Yeah. Well, and the brains of the operation, right? Leadbelcher is the brains. Leadbelcher is the brains of the operation, right?
Sure, as long as it doesn't destroy trees and forests and swamps.
Is the team up that your spaceship crashes in the swamp in Louisiana, and Leadbelcher goes to investigate, and while he's doing that, he comes across whatever.
Yeah,
what's the name? Tell us again, Karl, how you pronounce it.
A Chafalea Man.
The Chafalea Man. Yeah,
that's right. A Chafalea Man.
Well, that's kind of where Howard the Duck came in. The Howard Duck appeared in the nexus of all realities with Man Thing. That's where he popped
and of course, the government wants to track down the spaceship because government conspiracy and corrupt government is a big trope in superhero games.
Mm-hmm.
So the three of us need to team up, to protect Rom and stop the conspiracy.
Well, obviously the dire wraiths
and the destruction of the swamp.
Because the dire wraiths have infiltrated the government, and so all these government agents and high up government officials are actually aliens in disguise. So,
oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Dang, we just did an adventure there.
Yeah. So next time we get together, we'll have to do some mock combats to these guys.
Right. That'd be kind of fun.
Yep.
Like maybe when they meet each other, are they friends or enemies? We could do something like that.
The law of Marvel Comics is that before two heroes can become friends, they have to fight each
You
other.
got to fight it out, right?
Even if it's just for like half a second, then like, oh, sorry, confused, but they got to at least
Yeah, I mean,
trade a couple of
they're
punches.
yeah, before they become work friends, then they gotta fight it out. And even after they become work friends,
It's the Rocky Balboa Apollo Creed law.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Or for you people who do not get the reference, the Hulk Thor law.
Yeah.
From the movies. Cool.
Right. Okay. Well, I think we're out of time for this segment, so we're going to close this here, and we will pick up with another segment in this bonus episode. Okay, everybody, we're back for part 2 of our playing around with the Marvel rules. We're going to do a skirmish between Captain America and the Black Panther. They're both ranked 15 characters, and they're characters that are kind of evenly matched in the comics. We see this kind of matchup in the comics and the movies a lot. So we thought, let's see how the game handles it. Again, I have Karl and BJ with me. Karl is going to play T'Challa, Black Panther, and BJ is going to play Steve Rogers, Captain America. Are you guys ready?
I can do this all day.
No, I can do this all day.
Do we get karma for that?
There you go. You have to say your catchphrase. You get karma.
What is my catchphrase?
I don't know.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
So, folks, this is going to be a little bit slower paced because what we've done is we put them in a danger room. This is they're just sparring against each other.
Yeah, we're on the Roll20, using the Roll20 product.
Yep, we're using the Roll20 pack that Karl bought the Roll20 stuff for this playtest, and we put in danger room. It's 113 feet by 120 feet, and now my dog wants to go out, of course, just as we start. But
Wakanda forever.
So we're gonna talk through these as we go. The ruling is in the powers.
Avengers Assemble.
Yep, that's yours. So, Maddie, come here. Good boy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, folks, the first thing they want you to do is figure out the position of the combatants, and we've done that. We put them at opposite ends of this room. The next thing we're going to do is roll initiative. So to roll initiative, you roll 3d6. So both and the characters have initiative modifiers. So Captain America has a 13 initiative, and this is one of those rolls where if you get a fantastic success, a 1 on the Marvel die, you would get a free round, a bonus round. Neither one did that. The Black Panther got 22, so the Black Panther is going to act first. Actually, no, BJ, you get a edge on advantage, so you can reroll one of your die.
Okay.
I would. Well, it's up to you, but you're not going to beat his roll, so I would go for that center Marvel die. Try to get a 1.
Oh, I did.
And he got it. Okay. So he re-rolled his Marvel die, got a 1, which means fantastic success, which takes us into the bonus round. Characters get a fantastic roll in their initiative, get to take part in a bonus round before regular combat begins. Only those characters can take a turn in this bonus round, and they do so in the regular initiative order. After they're done, the first regular round begins. So BJ, you get a free round.
So remind me, we can move, and you can move and then you make an action.
Right. So you have 3 things you can do. You get an easy action, a standard action, and a move action.
Okay.
Or wait, I might be saying, hold on. I believe that's right. Taking a turn. You get, yes, an easy action, a standard action, and a move action. And you may also get some reactions. Everybody gets 1 reaction. Captain America has a talent that gives him an extra reaction. So you do get 2 reactions. Some powers are triggered by a reaction.
Okay, so I'm going to move forward,
Mhm.
and maybe I should look at what the powers tell us whether it's an easy action.
Right. If you
Okay.
look at each power, and so this playtest document's pretty good, or the playtest roll 20 is pretty good. It has the character sheet preset up. You can roll off the character sheets. They have the powers. Obviously, they explain what they do. Each of the power descriptions give the effect of what it does. It tells you what triggers it, like a standard action or a reaction, whatever. It gives the range if that's the case, gives the duration if that matters, and the cost if an action costs focus points.
I guess I'm just going to do a hurl. Just going to throw my shield.
Okay, hurled shield bash.
The character makes a ranged attack at an enemy. If the attack is a success, they take the damage. Okay.
Right. And he has 150 range, which is you can throw it anywhere in the room, so you're good there.
And is that a ranged attack?
Now, if you do that hurled throw, you're gonna lose your shield, right?
It bounces back.
Oh, does it automatically bounce back? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the shield then bounce back.
So is that
it's at the end.
is that
Yep.
a agility action, or is that a
Okay, so ranged attack, good question. So there are different kinds of attacks. Well, you use different stats for different kinds of attacks. And
Mhm.
depending on the attack, the opponent gets different kinds of defenses they can do. So we're doing an attack. So for a range attack, the target must be within line of sight. He is. The attacker makes an agility check versus the target's agility defense. Unless Black Panther has something to change that. I don't think he does.
okay?
Some characters have powers that let them use a different stat for defense.
So it's an action. It's just a straight up.
You're going to roll an
action.
agility attack. Yeah, roll the total next to agility.
Okay.
If you click on that all the way to the left,
And
the
there's no
total action
bonus
modifier.
to this, right?
No, actually, there might be a penalty. Hold on. There's a because you're doing a ranged attack.
Yeah, it's within range. I've got 150 range on the shield and 70 feet from me.
Yeah, so you're fine. You're not if you're throwing it high. If you're throwing it past, you can throw it up to double the range, but you take a trouble on it if you're throwing it past your normal range.
Okay.
So, yep, you're good.
I did have a
Um,
question. So
Yep, go ahead.
Captain America had an ability to re-roll one of the dice, or is that an ability, a power that Captain America has?
He has a
That's the
is that a talent or an ability? He's got a it's
It's a
a
trait.
talent or trait. I'm sorry, I call it a talent.
once per
trait.
battle, the character can turn a Marvel die to a 1 after all edges and troubles are resolved.
That's a trickery,
Combat trickery, yes.
Combat trickery, yeah.
not
Yep.
the re-roll. How did you get the re-roll on the?
Oh, I
initiative?
have an edge on on initiative rolls, so I get to re-roll.
Yeah, he has
One die.
it's a trait called situational awareness.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he has a trait called situational awareness. Now you only roll initiative, folks, on the very first initially the beginning of the combat, and they stay in that initiative order the entire combat.
Right,
Okay, so he rolled a
So there's my-
26.
and that is a miss.
That is a miss because T'Challa's defense for agility is
it?
31
31. Yep.
defense.
I am going to. That won't matter.
You're gonna have a hard time. Yeah, you're not gonna go.
All right. So now we're in regular initiative, right?
Yep. Yeah, the shields bounce back. Now we're back to regular initiative, and in regular initiative, Black Panther goes first.
So Chala's gonna. Can you
I think
change
this-
it? Can you change a move to a double move?
You can do that. Yes, you can. So you can exchange either a move or a standard action to do an extra easy action, or you
Mhm.
can exchange a standard action to an extra move action. Yes.
Okay. So I think he's because T'Challa doesn't have any sort of ranged attack in this danger room. We didn't put props or anything. just
Yeah,
to
we
make it
should have put
simple.
props in here so you could.
That's
throw in
okay.
stuff.
I have an idea, but anyway, he's gonna close with Steve Rogers,
Yep.
and yell "Wakanda forever."
Which gives them an automatic karma point, which is kind of
Oh, really?
balanced.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Okay, I
we're,
didn't-
we're not going to let you do that every turn, but
No,
but that's
no,
but
I
no,
know, I
you'll
know, I
get
know.
no, but we'll give you an extra karma point for that because the rules do say when the character yells their catchphrase in
I gotta remember where
at
I'm-
an appropriate moment, and charging into battle is an appropriate moment. So yeah,
All right.
you get a karma, folks. What karma do is they let the characters get an edge, which means they can reroll one of their dice, or they can give their opponent a trouble, which means the opponent has to reroll dice of their choice, not the opponent's choice. But so if Karl gives BJ a trouble, Karl picks which of BJ's die he has to reroll. So
Okay. So I get a karma then. Okay.
yeah, so just add it, or you might.
Oh, I'm already maxed out in karma, so I guess it doesn't
You can have extra. What happens is
It goes down.
it just stays until the end of that battle. It doesn't carry karma. Karma recharges when you take a rest, when you sleep, and if you have any extra karma, you lose the excess at the end of that when your karma resets.
Okay.
But you can during a battle, or so if you did a lot of heroic things, saved a lot of civilians or whatever, you could build up your karma past your maximum.
Okay.
Which is cool.
And what does karma? Let us know what karma lets us do.
It lets you can turn it either to an edge or a trouble. An edge lets you reroll the die of your choice. And trouble you can make your opponent reroll die of your choice. So if they have a 1 on the Marvel die, give them fantastic success, you can make them reroll that.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Okay, so you double moved. Do you have any
Yep.
do you have any easy actions you're going to do?
No, I don't think I do.
Yeah, it would be helpful to have a list of so easy actions, folks, are communicating, grabbing an ally, interacting with something like opening a door, picking up something smaller than your size, or standing up if nobody's next to you. If no opponent's next to you. If you're not prone and an opponent's next to you, it takes a standard action to stand up. So, okay. Captain America, you're up.
I can move 30 feet. Is that right?
29. Yeah, 30 is close enough. No, actually, there's an advantage, but Black Panther has, so yeah, 29. Because since we didn't set it up with a grid to be spaces, yeah, 29 feet. Since we're using Roll20 as measuring tape, it's easy enough to say it's 30. Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, 6 squares.
Yeah, 6 squares. Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
No.
I'm not going to get away from you. I guess unless I go straight back, I can do that. Go back to my corner. All right, I'm going to throw my shield again.
Okay.
Pray for a better outcome.
25 will not do it.
All right. And then I'm just going to move. Oops.
Okay.
Back.
Run away.
Okay.
He backed into a corner, folks. We'll see how this works out. Now, the turn goes back. Or did you have any other actions you were going to do? Any easy actions or anything?
No.
Okay. So now we're back to Black Panther, who is moving forward.
This is probably just going to turn into a fist fight here in a minute.
Yep. Which will benefit the Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, at least that's how it looks like written. Okay.
Yeah.
That blue square there.
Okay.
You can run.
It's okay if you're slightly off. We're not gonna. You've got a little bit more movement than him.
Yeah,
but
there you
not
go.
A whole lot.
That's cool.
So.
All right. Yeah, I went to the court. That seems. All right. It goes. You can run all you want, Steve, but I will catch you eventually.
Yeah. One thing, folks, I will mention in the play test one power the Black Panther, or trait the Black Panther has, is he has a trait called Regal. The character seems born to be in charge. They have an edge on all ego persuasion checks made when speaking to an individual. Now, you could argue normally that wouldn't be used in combat, and I would say he's not going to be able to use it on another PC here, but that potentially, just the way it's written, persuading Captain America to give up, you could maybe argue that, but we don't have, but we're not. I don't think we're going to do that in this combat, but he does have that ability.
All right. So what I'm going to do is,
well, you've got some bum rushing stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bum rush. You just got a melee shield bash.
Yeah.
Rico shield 4, shield bash. Okay, but you can break up your move, right?
Oh, you know what you could do here? Well, never mind. You're going to figure out what you're going to do. I won't help you. Yes, folks, you can break up your move. You can move.
So he's going to run up and shield bash and then just keep moving,
Pounce off. Yeah.
and then bounce and then. move
And
on,
you can
so.
even break up your move multiple times. You can move, say, 2 spaces, do a standard action, move 2 more spaces, do an easy action, and move 2 more spaces if you have that much movement. So
Okay,
yep.
so this is a physical. I don't think it matters. It's the same.
Well, it does. Hold on. Actually, it is going to matter. So for a fight attack, you're going to use your might against his agility, but he might have something that doesn't Black Panther have something to change what they defend with, what he defends with?
This thing called combat finesse, potentially the character can add their agility rather than their might to fight attack checks.
Oh, that's for so that's for
that's for
attack, so
attacking.
so that won't help.
And you can spend karma to re-roll a die. Is that right?
That's right. Or you can use that combat trickery to automatically get a 1.
I'm gonna spend.
But that still won't.
That might actually be beneficial to you, BJ.
Yeah,
because you rolled a 6, 2, and a 6.
Well, yes, it
Yeah,
would,
let's
because
do
that one.
Let's go ahead and use that one then. So it's a 6.
So we can see what ultimate success goes.
Right. So that's going to
616.
turn into a 616. So actually, that's going to be an ultimate fantastic. That's going to do a couple things here.
Well, but I have a question. I don't think I'm going to do this because I want to see what ultimate success does. But I guess a player I could then have, I could have, before he would declare that, I could have BJ re-roll one of the 6s, correct? With karma to give him a trouble.
Yes. Well, so yes, normally you could. If he spent a edge to re-roll and do that, then yes. The thing with combat trickery, though, is it says once per battle while attacking, the character can turn the Marvel die to a 1. Do this after all edges and troubles are used on that attack. So,
yeah, so he would
say,
give me a trouble to make me change a 6, right?
Well, yes. But I don't think you could. But the wording is do this after all edges and troubles are used in that attack.
But I'm not making him change. I'm not making him change the Marvel dice. I'm making him change one of the other dice.
Yeah, but he
doesn't have the ultimate
after he does.
So he doesn't have the right because he declared it first. But I see. No, but that's what I mean.
Yeah. So really, what it should go is, BJ, do you want to use any edges or use any karma? Karl, do you want to use any edges or karma? And then BJ would say, now I'm going to invoke combat trickery. Is right, how okay. you know what I mean? Because combat trickery is supposed to be.
Well, I want to see what ultimate success does anyway. So
yeah, so
I'm not going to do that. But I just wonder, and I like I said, it's rare that you're going to get a 616. So might as well do it.
So
okay, so what does that do for me?
Okay, so let's read out of the book what's going to happen here. We're going to read a couple things, but first we're going to read the ultimate success. Okay, so the ultimate fantastic. You automatically succeed whatever you do and ignore any. Well, no, you wouldn't be able to, Karl, because when you make a roll, you automatically succeed and ignore any trouble. So you wouldn't be able to use trouble on them anyway. Once they get 616 on the table, you can't.
But he doesn't have 616. He has 6. He has 626 right now. He's changing it to a 1.
Right, but once he changes to 616,
right,
you couldn't use a trouble to make him. Oh, I see what you're saying. If
we did the procedure that you described, it'd be edges, troubles,
right.
And then he would.
But I think as soon as the 616 is there, because at that
if
point
it's a natural 616, you can't do anything.
Yeah. So it doesn't clarify.
A natural 616 is fixed when it hits the table. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you resolve your troubles and edges, and then he could say, "I'm going to turn that Marvel die into a 1."
Yeah. Right. That I think that's probably, but it's a little hazy in the book. But so what that does for us.
So the feedback we need to give the publisher is you need to line out a clear
procedural
for
edges and troubles.
What resolves before what.
Right. So what happens here is it's a yes end result, and he succeeds. He's going to automatically succeed. It can't be turned down. It's a yes end result. But the other thing is going to happen is when we look at, let's go back to the power that he used. So Captain America attacked with shield bash, right?
Yeah, so it's just going
to do the damage. If it's a fantastic success, enemy takes double damage, is knocked prone.
Okay.
So you're going to do double damage. So roll damage. So to do that, go in your character sheet. There you go. So 43. So you're going to do double damage.
Oh my gosh. I rolled the
83.
Yep.
So 86 points of damage.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to do 86 points of damage, and he's knocked prone.
He's not prone.
Now, Black Panther may have things to soak damage though.
Yes, he has a brace for impact.
Mm-hmm.
So for every point of focus spent, I can ignore 1 point of health damage dealt by the attack.
Right.
And he has lots of focus.
Right. Now, if you lose all your focus, then it's bad, but you have plenty of, you could actually absorb all those.
I could, yeah, and actually, so he has armor, so that takes 3 off, right? So that'd be 83. You want to do that correctly?
No, it takes more than 3. It takes armor 3 absorbs 30 damage. So actually, so it's 53 after the armor.
So 56 after the armor.
Or 56, I'm sorry, yeah.
56 after the armor. And then I think I will use my brace for impact and absorb it.
Definitely. You can do that. Now you're still going to be knocked prone though.
Yeah, still knocked prone, which we can put a little icon on here.
Yeah. And then, so it's yes, and you succeeded. So they say if you're not sure what a good end is, to just give the character an edge on their next action. Can you think of anything that would be a good end? Because if we can, then we'll add it to it.
For that 616?
Yeah, well, for this action. Can you think of anything that would be a good end result since he's already prone?
Well, I would either say an extra, like some kind of attack with a bonus to hit him, or Captain America can get away, put some distance between the two of them, since he's trying not to engage him up close.
Yeah, well, so I think what we'll do, we'll just give you that extra edge on your next standard action.
Okay.
So,
all right. So I guess on the next round, then, so it looks like Black Panther he kind of braces and he takes that punishment, even though he gets knocked to the ground.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, the danger room crack, the tiles of the danger room crack from the impact.
Can you see that though? Like in a movie where like Cap just backhands him with the shield across the side of the head and just slams him into the floor and then pops back.
Yep. Because then with a like an easy action, right? That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
T'Challa will pop back up.
Right, because Captain America didn't stay next to him. If he had stayed next to him, you had to use a standard action. You wouldn't be able to attack this guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. If that was the case, I would have just stayed there.
Well, yeah, but so just like
Can I use that edge
for next
to
time?
say that?
For next time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Because if had that been the case, then I would have made you reroll one of those 6s, but we kept moving. All right. So then T'Challa jumps up and he's gonna pounce on Captain America. So I roll. Which do I roll to hit?
Do you have a special attack thing you're doing, or you're just doing a standard attack?
He just doesn't have. He doesn't have any special attacks. It's more
okay. Now he can use
damage.
agility instead of might though to attack, can he?
Yeah, combat finesse.
Yeah. Oh wait, you add your agility. Yeah. So, well, you don't want to do that though, do you?
So what am I rolling?
Oh no, it automatically. Well, I don't know if it automatically figured that or not.
Do I do fight? Just hit fight? We'll see.
Yeah, hit do the might. Your
it's
might's
1 point
higher.
off. It's 1 point off. You can look at the dice. Wait, so
well, but it's 6. Yeah, go ahead.
It's -6. Or what is it added? We'll find out.
Yeah.
What's your defense?
24.
24. Yeah.
All right, so I put that in the input value.
Yep.
Oh,
and you definitely
You
hit.
put input value. Yeah, you just roll straight up, don't you?
no, now it says 32.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it either way, but if you put it in there, it'll,
Yep.
calculate. You get the verses. You don't have to put it in.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but doing that,
60
you get
point-
damage. So yeah.
60 points of damage.
Okay, well, the shield absorbs
40.
40 of that, I believe.
Yep.
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 So now we're looking at 20 damage. And do I have that also as situational awareness? Weird.
Do this all day.
You do this all day, which is
That's
you heal 2
points.
2 points
Yeah.
for every focus you spend.
Yeah, so you're going to take the
It's
damage.
instant though,
Yeah.
but then you can use your focus to heal it.
That's
It's instant.
But that's
an
an
easy action.
It's an easy action, yeah. So you can
Okay.
do that on your turn.
My next turn, but it doesn't happen automatically. All right.
Right. Yep. That's
All
correct.
right. So I take.
And so brace is a reaction, I guess. And
Yeah, which is which you were able to do.
yeah, brace is a reaction, and then do this all day is an easy action. Cool.
Right. So
Got it.
Okay.
so that happens on your turn, where the reaction happens on your opponent's turn.
Right.
2 points for every point of focus they spend. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's my turn.
Yep. So you actually took damage.
Yeah, you took
Yeah.
20 points.
Well, I mean, Captain America is more resilient than Black Panther, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
But
Well, I'm going to
he's
use
gonna-
my easy action to negate that.
But it does take focus. I guess focus is focus to me
Yeah.
reminds me of champions. Like you have like an endurance stat, right?
Mhm.
In champions, where kind of that's how your powers are come from. That so this to me this is what that stat that we're looking at, focus, to me reminds me of.
Right now, if your focus gets down to 0, then you get
Yeah.
negatives. You get like troubles on all your rolls, and
Yeah.
you can't focus, and so
Right.
you don't want to
It's
let it get
interesting.
too low.
Right.
Okay, so that was your easy action. Now you get a standard action and move action. Captain America.
Okay. I'm going to move back 30 feet or 20 feet. Is that my, yeah.
Yeah, there are rules for delaying and holding actions, but in this case, I don't see where they'd help much. If we had more than one opponent, if we had multiple opponents on the field, that might matter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to backpedal,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to throw my shield at him. I'm going to
Okay.
try to just ricochet.
So,
Are
so,
there-
so you're gonna throw it at him or at the wall?
Or the bouncing
let's
off the
try-
floor is a possibility too, right?
Yeah, let's try this. I'm gonna hurl it to the left here, all the way across the room into the wall.
Okay, so what he's doing is a power called Rico Shield. You want to read that out loud while I look at
The character makes a ranged attack at a target. If the attack is a success, the target takes damage. The attack is a fantastic success, it's not prone. And the character can make an extra attack against another target, adding the extra range between the two targets as an attack roll. This can go on until the attack fails. When the attacks are over, the shield then bounces back to the character.
right. So to hit the
But
wall,
I would have to get a fantastic success for it to ricochet where I want it to, right?
yes, which is where, and you've already used your free your combat trickery. This is
Yeah.
where combat trickery would have been good, but you have a free edge on this roll, so that's something. And you could spend karma to add another edge to it, so potentially you get to have two rerolls this time. The wall attacks against an immovable object, unmoving object, has a target number of 10 modified by the object size. In this case, it's the wall. It's huge. It's huge, right? So you need like a 6 to hit this wall. Let's say. So you're going to hit the wall. So go ahead and roll your. Ooh. So now you have a choice here. You hit the wall, and this danger room. So we're going to say I'm not going to worry about damage, like breaking through the wall of danger room.
So I'm going to
characters.
I have an edge to re-roll the Marvel die, right?
Yep, you have that free one you got from your last attack, from your ultimate fantastic. So you can reroll it. Now he spent edge. Karl, do you want to use a karma for? Or
No, he rolled a 5, so it's the
So
same.
now I'm going to spend an actual karma
Right.
to do that again.
Yep. Although if you get a 1, Karl. Yeah. So,
Kidding me.
yeah.
All right, so the shield just bounces back to me.
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Right. Yeah. So
That would've
that's
been
where
much
you want
better
to
to
save that combat trickery
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
All right. So T'Challa looks perplexed on what the hell was Steve doing there? playing pong with the wall, Steve. All right. Yeah. Black Panther is just going to move up and try to claw into Steve Rogers again.
Definitely. 24.
Yep.
Okay. He hits for 61 damage.
So can I use that karma that I got to re-roll that 2? And will that give me try to get a 1?
Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can. So what are you attacking? Where's your are you just doing an attack, or is there actually like a claw thing on his sheet?
No, it's just fight damage. That's what I'm just doing.
But so you
There's
don't
no
have
claw thing.
Okay, because the reason I ask that is a lot of the attacks, you don't have any, but a lot of the attack powers, right? If you get a fantastic success, it does double damage.
It does double damage, right?
Yeah,
So
but
it wouldn't make a difference in this case.
in this case, well, you could say, I mean, I would say if you got it, you said yes, and I think it'd be fair to say you could knock him over.
Oh,
Like,
knock him
a
prone
normal
or
fantastic success was when you roll a 1, just means it's a 6, right?
Well, it means it's a 6 and it's a yes end result.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and it's a yes end result.
All
and
right.
if you get the
I'll just
ultimate
do regular.
fantastic, they can't do trouble. So yeah, I mean, you're doing 61 points, so 21 points of that gets through.
Yep.
Yeah, I am going to spend the karma and make him re-roll the 4.
Oh,
We rolled 4. Okay. All right. And then I could counter that with an edge if I don't like.
If you want
roll,
to,
right?
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But I'll do the trouble. Oh, it's a 1.
So that's enough to. No, you'd still hit, right?
Minus it'd be 24 versus 24, right?
Yeah, so you hit.
I would still hit.
I'm pretty sure
less.
this is meets beats.
Oh, I was thinking about that. It would have been pointless to spend that anyway because there was no way to negate it.
Well, if the ties go to the defender, then it was worth it.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
So we'll
let me verify that. Looking through the book here. If you guys find it before I do, holler it out. Darn it. The playtest isn't laid out the best. I'm sure the final book will be so much better. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 15 or better to succeed. So it's meets beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to save that karma, because obviously,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
it wouldn't do
Okay.
anything. So,
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's 21 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay.
And next turn you could burn focus, but you can't do it till next turn.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's Captain America's turn now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it looks like Black Panther kind of has an edge here, but it's not such an overwhelming edge that he knocks Cap out right away. I've been tracking how many turns with combat's been going.
Well, then I'll use my easy action to get back most of that damage.
Mhm.
And then let's see. It's too bad I can't outrun him.
Yeah. He's faster. Black Panther's faster.
Slightly faster, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
can do like if I do a double move, he's got to do a double move close, and then it's my turn again, and I can do a melee attack, right?
That's true. If
I'm gonna
he
do
does that after hearing you say that, yes.
Okay.
Your best bet is to get one of is because you have attacks that have the thing where if you get a fantastic success, he does double damage. Your best bet's to get one of those double damage hits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Get a fantastic success and a hit.
Yep.
Because that way you can exceed his armor. And
Yeah.
because really you guys are going to have to wear out because of this focus power you have I can do this all day. You
Yep.
pretty much have to burn through the opponent's focus
Focus, and then
or get something real lucky. But I
Yeah.
think you're going to have to pretty much burn through the focus.
so you double moved, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna try some. So Black Panther is gonna stay there and wait like a catcher. So I'm gonna try to catch his freaking shield. I don't know how we could do that, but he's gonna try.
Okay, I would say you should have
If
a
you
chance
throw
to
it,
do that.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would say you should have a chance to be able to do that.
So it's your turn. That's what he's just waiting. He's holding.
Yeah,
Black Panther.
and you don't have to declare action, so you wouldn't have to have said that you were going to catch a shield.
Technically, he wouldn't. Well, I mean, you see him getting to like a catcher like that. Not
Mhm.
quite a catcher stance, but kind of.
I would say that would be that would be a target number thing. So if we try to do that, we'll make you do a check for target number.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I'm gonna try.
BJ,
I'm gonna
you're
try
up.
this maneuver again, where I do the ricochet.
Okay.
So first against the wall. Do I need to roll that?
Yeah, because if you roll 3 ones, you botch the roll, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it is possible to botch a roll. No, okay, so you definitely hit the wall. You rolled a 6 though instead of a 1, so you need that 1 to get it to.
Okay. Well, then I'll spend.
Oh, it's important. What did you ping where you aimed at?
Oh,
Where did you throw it at? What wall? Okay. That's important
based-
because the distance is going to matter.
um, let's see. All right. Well,
You have
spend
to
a-
use a karma to.
yeah.
To re-roll that
Yeah.
6.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
So it just bounces back to you. Okay.
I need Bucky here to help.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
So
All right,
what's the
that
Black Panther
strategy's
one?
not going to work. So I'm just going to burn all my karma.
Yeah.
Trying
Now
to
you-
roll one.
Now you can do a move action or an easy action if you want. Black Panther needs a ranged weapon.
Yeah. That's why he's trying to catch that shield.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, because you don't have, so it's a power. It's in the power description that the shield comes back to him. So I would say if you get a hold of that shield, you could definitely throw it at him, but it wouldn't come back to you because you don't have
Right.
the power. You know what I mean? But you could definitely use as a thrown weapon.
He's double moving. Okay.
Yeah, we should have put some junk in here to throw around. Okay, you're up, PJ.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Run by attack again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you don't have to declare the whole thing. You can just say you're moving 2 spaces and attacking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you want to stay next to him if you succeed, you know what I mean? So you may not want to declare that you're passing him yet. You might just want to move,
Okay. So
move 20 feet or whatever. You know what I mean? Move.
Right.
So I'm going to move to there, which was, I think, 20 feet of movement.
No, it's not enough to hit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it is hard to hit
Yeah.
Chala.
Yeah. And unfortunately, these guys are going to,
Like we both said, we can do this all day.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you end up next to him then, BJ?
31. I got to get a 31 to hit him, right?
you need a 31 to hit him. No, he can still finish his move.
Right.
Because you can interrupt your movement and then do an attack and then finish. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep moving.
Okay.
so folks, I don't know if we're gonna we may just call this. We're gonna because obviously there's going to be a slow attrition of the focus to go, but these characters were more evenly matched than I thought they would be.
Yep.
And at the moment, Captain America arguably, is ahead because he has a lot more focus. He has, like 2/3 more focus than Black Panther does. So if they keep this up, Black Panther's going to run out of focus first.
Potentially, if Captain America can land a blow, because it's been hard.
Right. Yeah,
Cap to hit him.
Yeah.
He got one solid hit, and
he's got to get another good solid hit in.
Yeah, so like I just did 60 more points of damage to
right, which is going to burn 20 more of his focus. Or
no, 40 reduce the shield reduces it by 40, right?
Right,
to 20.
Yeah, you take 20 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Cap has more health too. So Cap actually may be able to outlast him, but it's going to take us another half hour to get through it, which I don't know if anybody wants to listen to us keep doing this. But
I guess the conclusion is that they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, much more so than we thought. And if
I get one more attack though for this round.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, finish the round.
Go ahead. And if there were other things in here, this might have turned out different as well.
I'm going to spend a focus to reroll 2.
Yep.
Because I think I'm within 4 of hitting him, right? Nope, it wouldn't matter.
Nope.
So
no,
I'm not going to spend a focus.
Yeah, that's tough. I think you have to roll really high.
Yeah, you either have to have a 6/16, which is auto hit.
Yeah.
Or you have to have, because Captain America's bonus to hit is 32.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, no, if your bonus is 30, oh, no, that's your damage. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your bonus to hit is 13. So, and it's 31. So 31 minus 13 is a number.
18.
18. So you need to roll 18 to hit him.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And they're the same rank. Yeah.
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 Where T'Challa needs what to hit Captain America? Captain America
T'Challa has a 9. So T'Challa had 24 minus 19, right?
Yeah, so he needs 6 to hit Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what we see in this combat is that even with that said, it's still not a gimme to Black Panther.
Yeah, well, I think we saw the same thing in the other demo we did, where it was Wolverine and Groot against Thor. It was like Wolverine could hurt Thor really bad, but it was like 1 in 10 times he actually could hit him. In the meantime, Thor is just dishing out punishment. So I think one of the things to consider from a game design standpoint is there's the mathematics. There's several ways to get at the same result mathematically based on dice probabilities, but what's enjoyable to play as a play experience. And I think from my understanding, what they've said with like Pathfinder and modern D&D, part of why they've upped the hit points and the attack bonuses even for low-level characters, because they've discovered that most players enjoy whittling away hit points than they do missing, and then having the big hit. They would rather have a more steady damage output and occasionally get a crit than just, we win 8 rounds and I hit the guy twice.
Yeah. Yeah. So the bounded accuracy is like what you're talking about in like 5e and with Pathfinder 2 now. So
which this game doesn't accuracy, have.
Which this does not have, clearly.
No.
Right. I mean, I need a 6 versus Captain America needing, a critical
18.
success and effect.
And I think all you have to do is say, I played this Marvel game where 3d6 mechanic and Captain America had to roll an 18 to hit somebody. I think most people will go, that doesn't sound like Captain America.
That doesn't, yeah. So there's definitely some tweaks that need to be done, right? I mean, they really maybe they need to really consider their philosophy and mess with the numbers to get like a more of a bounded accuracy.
Well, maybe, but if
the hit points are there.
Things, if he pulled off one of these bounce off the wall, he would have hit you probably, because like that last time he did the bounce off the wall, it would have been what? It would have been like 30 feet to 7 squares.
Yeah.
So how much would that have added?
You would add like 35 to the attack roll.
Right. Yeah, it would add like 35 attack roll. So he would have pretty much, if he had succeeds in any of these bounce off the walls, it's going to automatically hit Black Panther.
Yeah, like the first one was at 10 spaces. That was been like a plus 10, right? So
right.
For sure it would have. Yeah, so you need like the Captain America trickery, which I guess works a bit with the fiction. He's always bouncing the shield off and hitting multiple opponents, and You know, the shield
I would
bounces
think
behind somebody and hits him in the back. You know,
Right.
the other thing with this is his only option is to use his shield to fight. Where I would want to see with Captain America, he can use his shield as a distraction to then just punch somebody, and maybe he doesn't do as much damage, but the shield whizzes over your head, so you kind of flinch, and then he, punches you across the jaw.
yeah,
Right.
like in
What-
that
Yeah, so you need
distracting
an
maneuver.
ability.
Power. There might be some
Mhm.
power that I feel like reflects that in one of the
Yeah.
trees. But-
Right. You need something that lets you attack something like attack as resilience. Like somebody, I forget who in the other playtest, when we were doing either Groot, Wolverine, or Thor, had an attack that attacked resilience instead of agility.
Hmm.
And like if you were attacking Black Panther's resilience, it'd only be a 23 to hit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Captain America needs something like that where he has a trickery thing or something that lets him attack something other than the agility.
Right.
Because
Or, I mean,
you
like-
could do a punch, you could do a stand. You don't have to use the shield. You could use, BJ, you could do it just a straight up punch.
Yeah.
But
But the shield, if he procs the shield, he gets double damage.
Yeah.
Right. That's the-
Because let's be honest, Black Panther in this build doesn't have claws. There's no claws in this build.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have like the atom, vibranium claws or whatever. Like
Right. And if he
equivalent
had
to like
claws,
Wolverine's.
Yeah, because claws do Wolverine, what we saw with Thor, claws do bleeding damage. And so once you hit with the claws and start to do bleeding damage, you lose hit points, you lose health every turn. And so you bind that up. So,
Yeah.
and really, Black Panther should have claws, and this build of him does not have any claws.
In the book, it describes his fight damage as electrified vibranium claws, slashing and energy damage.
Oh, well, so maybe we're doing that wrong.
But
Maybe-
his
I didn't
claws
see it
are
on the
pretty
character
small. His claws are relatively small compared to Wolverine's, which will like eviscerate
Yeah.
somebody.
That should say it on the character sheet, though.
Mhm.
Oh, it says under equipment. Yeah, so we screwed up. Oh, you know what? We really screwed up because what's Captain America's shield give him
A bonus to hit. maybe?
No. What your armor from the shield? What's it give you? Oh, any attacks. So the shield would have still blocked the 40 points, but that 20 points. So yeah, so you took 2 hits or 3 hits, right? So you would have took
Yeah.
bleeding damage. So you would have been bleeding.
Okay.
Yeah, we screwed that up. I didn't see that in the equipment block. So the character sheets aren't laid out the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
is that because of what they say on the description?
Yeah, that
Oh,
slashing
electrified.
damage matter. It's like D&D 5th edition. You have
Mhm.
a ton of different damage types. So where it
Oh,
says
right.
slashing damage,
Mhm.
that matters because it would have made him bleed.
Oh,
And when he starts bleeding, he would have lost some. Let me look for the number here. We're wrapping this up, folks. But just since we're mentioning this, let's look and see what it would have.
well, it is a danger room. He's not trying to kill Captain America. He's trying to,
No,
subdue
and-
him. So
And you don't die until you go to negative your health. So he'd have to go negative 180 to die. So you're okay. So each of those times, anytime a character takes 10 or more points of piercing or slashing attack, he is bleeding. Then he loses 5 health at the end of each turn. So, which he could have took a standard action to stop the bleeding, but that would have burned up one of his standard action, which it just would have been attack. So he would have probably run, double moved and then standard action the next turn. But yeah, so you would have lost another 10 or 20 health, but that wouldn't have mattered in the length of time we fought. But it
Yeah.
does matter. So that
So I'm also
attack
kind
type
of
matters.
imagining that probably what's going to happen. I mean, we're doing like a superhero versus superhero, which is
right.
pretty much a staple of comic books. But I think more often, if you're running a campaign, you're going to have fights against thugs and Hydra agents and androids and things like that. And then in the big battle, you're going to fight a supervillain that can do this stuff to you.
Yeah.
So that it's not a constant.
Or you do like the superhero versus superhero, and it doesn't come to a conclusion, and the superhero is like, "Well, I guess we figured that out," type of thing,
Yeah.
right? You see that a lot as a trope in the.
Mhm.
You're not going to have like a unfortunately a Luke Cage versus Bushmaster end of fight type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you need to give the minions or the standard, thugs something, because otherwise it's no challenge at all.
Right.
Those level 1 Hydra guys they have in the playtest are, I mean, there's nothing. You pretty much automatically hit them and take them out. There's nothing to them, and they basically need to roll an 18 to hit the characters. So it's pretty. They don't have like swarm attacks in here. They don't have like ganging up rules in the playtest. But I think to make the thugs and the minions useful in this game, you're going to have some kind of ganging up rules. So
eventually, like a ganging up type of
Yeah.
thing. Because you're right, they'll never hit. They won't have a chance.
Right. So it's just kind of a waste of time, but a time burner. Well, so let's round this out, and we'll put this with the character creation part and put it out as a bonus episode. So thank you guys. I'm excited to play more of this. I don't know, or how about you guys?
I do. I love the verse. I want to play more. Either I'd play this or DC or even I like superhero games. It just it seems to take some work to get them going and to get them sustainable. But I've done it before.
I feel like with a full rule set for making characters and opponents, even though it's Marvel Multiverse, you could probably play a DC game with this, or a Image, or your own homebrew superhero. As long as you just have the rule set for making. Because one of the things you find out when you start looking at superhero games is, all these characters mechanically have the same powers; they just have different flavors.
Yep.
Batman swinging on his rope versus Spider-Man swinging on a web versus Daredevil swinging on the cable that comes out of his billy club is still a hero swinging on
on some sort of line.
Yeah. No, definitely. So, okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And folks, if you have any feedback or comments, feel free to call in. You can use the Anchor app. You can send an email to cerebrivore@gmail.com. It's in the show notes or in the YouTube video notes. You can leave a comment there in the YouTube video. So we'd love to get feedback from you and what you guys think. If you played with a Marvel Multiverse game, what your experiences have been so far. And we'll talk to you again in a week. Take care.